Dividend stock talk. There we go. Done. And all right, that one's going. That one's going. Display, here we go. Start streaming, there we go. Okay. Yahoo Finance. There we go. That's good to go. That's good to go. That's good to go. And we are just getting ready. Just getting ready. Ooh, look who we have here tonight. Turkey Toes, Sam Golden Law. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How are you today? What do you have over there? Okay, they're getting ready to go. Welcome to TikTok, blah, 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 whatever. Mary Amy, good evening. Abdul Adah. Scott Cook, how's it going? Now, let's see what we have going on with Facebook over here. Or LinkedIn. I'm trying to get LinkedIn up and running, but it seems to be giving me issues. Uh-oh, welcome to TikTok Live, 18 and older. We're notifying your viewers, keep blah, blah, blah. Okay, good. All righty. Beanie, doing fine. Cool Bean. Rickster. Gordon, what's happening? Sal, Selfless, good evening, good evening. Beanie, I am wonderful. Thank you kindly. Stop recording. We don't need to see that. What do we have over here? We have this, and that is almost what I need. Nope, nope, that's not quite what I wanted. I wanted this one. Okay. There we go. And take this and move this over to there. Is that it? Nope. There. And too much. Right there. All right. That's what I'm looking for. Woohoo. All right. Just about ready. Just about ready. Cool beans. Cool beans. All right. Scott, thank you. Cool beans. You're doing good. Andrew, love. Jesus Nunez, cool beans. All right. Asder, how are you doing, Asder? I think I get everything going. TikTok, okay. What are we doing over here? I need to see this for a second. Restream, glasses. Cool beans. How are we doing on Restream? Offline, offline, offline. Well, that just doesn't work. Stop. Stream key. Reset. Okay, confirm. Disable old keys. Okay, cool. Not quite sure what the hell that means. Shit, 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 shit. Damn it. Damn it, this is not my thing. Channels. Update. Settings. No settings? March 26. Shit, channels. No, that ain't it either. Shit. settings. You've got to be kidding. Well, now that's weird. Looks like we got to get Jacob on the phone. Put in the microwave here. All right, good. We are ready to go. All right, so a restream is working. Cool beans. And there we go, right there. And we are almost set. All right, we're all good to go. All right, what do you have for us today? Asder, how are you today? Just getting ready to warm up. I'm going to have to do something over here with the 10-minute trader on TikTok because I don't really have anything for them to go by other than me just standing here. All right, that being said, you don't want to see this. We want to see that right there. Right. Okay. Mary June, good evening and how are you today? Big Brain wants to take a look at STLA. Now, Big Brain, I have no idea what STLA is. So, STLA. Now, I've been trading long enough to know if I have no idea what it is, usually it's going to be a no. Stellantis. Okay. Well, here we are looking at Stellantis. Okay, well, we have the high right here about a year ago. We have the bottom right here last week. Okay, she drops, goes sideways, drops again. Now it's turning around, going back up. Is this the point where she turns and goes back up? Don't know. Well, let's find out. All right, so wait a second before we go any further. It's at 936 at the moment. The bid's 909, the ask is 975. But let's go by the last trade. The last trade was 936. So let's look at the 950s because that's closest to 936. The 950s for this week is 10, okay, more than 1%. This one right here is also going to be a little bit higher. Not by much, but this week looks a little bit better. All right, well, let's check the numbers and see what happens. Okay, Naples, Venice, how you doing? Gary Collins, Andrew, Bruce, Liz Luna, good evening. Felipe, Gary, Tony, what's going on? All right, a year ago, Stellantis was at 27. Okay, drops, goes sideways for quite a bit. Look at the last 90 days. The last 90 days. Okay, here's your high, here's your low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, now it's going up again. Now that's the last 3 months. So the last 3 months will give us a good idea what other investors are thinking. Okay, fine. Here's the bottom right there. Is it bouncing off and going back up again? Can very well be. Okay, now, before we go on any further, I'm going to ask you guys very politely. Number one, I do answer each and every single question. Every question I will answer, okay? Please only ask the question once. And when you ask about a stock, make sure, Tim Bex, make sure the stock you want me to look at has dividends. Amazon does not have any dividends. Okay, this is a dividend investing channel where we invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. If it doesn't have any dividends, it makes it a little bit more difficult to figure out where it's going. And if we have no idea where it's going, well, how are we going to trade it successfully? Now, don't get me wrong, Amazon may be a great company for capital growth. You know, when you buy it in 10 or 15 years, yeah, it's great. It's not what we're looking for here. What I'm looking for here is weekly cash flow. Means I want to get a check every single week. Mary June, I'll let Jacob know that you said thank you. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. Javier, good evening. How do you deal with your emotional aspect of trading when you start to erupt? Okay, number one, I really don't lose my temper anymore, so I really don't erupt anymore. Because, you know, as you get older, you get what's called wisdom. Something you can't buy. You cannot buy wisdom, you have to earn it. The only way to earn it is through life experiences. So, Javier, 50 or 60 years of doing something and getting frustrated with it, you learn, say, all right, this just ain't working. I'm not going to do that anymore. All right. Well, that being said, when I do a trade, it's a simple in, out, thank you. I'm looking for a profit. Now, Javier, I do a simple trading strategy called a covered call. Andrew, how's it going? Called a covered call. That means I'm buying a certain stock, making sure that it is profitable, and then I'm selling it to someone else. I have already in mind what I'm looking to gain from the encounter. I'm looking to gain 1% per week. Andrew, please just do it once. I appreciate the love. Thank you very much. Okay? Let's just, you know, once or twice is great. That's a little bit too much. Thank you. All right, Andrew, thank you very much. Okay, so keep in mind what your goal is. Because if you're focused on your goal, that's the only thing you're going to see. Distractions are what you see when you take your eyes off your goal. So if my goal is 1% per week, if I buy a stock like this and it shoots up and somebody else makes that profit, well, I'm happy for them. Because I have my goal in mind, and my goal is 1% per week. How did we go from 150 down to 55? That's crazy. Is what it is. All right. A1 steak, put it in the microwave. Okay. Good evening, John. Oh, what questions did I miss? Who do we have over here? Colton. How you doing, Colton? Rowan Clements. Right now, I have to go to the same time as I have to go home. Okay, Rowan, thank you for that. Colton, good evening. Logan, good evening. Jacob, good evening. Do a backflip. Yeah, that ain't happening. Okay, I'm a little bit past that. Now, don't get me wrong. I can still do handstands. I can still walk on my hands. I can still do cartwheels and roundups. But flips, I'm not doing that anymore. Sorry, because when you get to a certain point, if you miss, yeah, it takes a little bit longer to recuperate. All right, so no, I ain't doing no backflips, but thank you. Jacob Johnson, how are you doing today? Richard Wimp. Okay, Crypto King, how you doing? All right, Javier Nunez. I just lost 14,000 in trading for one day of a bad mentally emotion. What do I do now? Well, learn from that mistake, brother. Okay, if you do something and you notice that it went wrong, yeah, write it down, put it on a big piece of paper, hang it on your wall somewhere to remind you never to do that again. Because people can say, hey, don't do this. Hey, don't do that. Hey, this is the best thing for you to do, in my opinion. Or, hey, this is a good idea. But if you choose to do whatever it is you did, and you lost all that money, whatever reason it was, well, that's a learning process. Granted, a little on the pricey side, 14,000. Okay, well, don't do it again. It's actually that's it. You can't undo what you did. The only thing you can do is learn from it. Okay. All righty, Scott. Scott, what do you got today? What do you want to look at today, Scott? Let me know. Let me know in the chat so I can take a look. Okay, that's there. Okay, what else do we have over here? A1 steak, put in the microwave. Yep, good evening, John. Good evening to you. Good evening, Laura. Thank you for your help. You're welcome, Laura. Luigi wants to take a look at Dell. We'll take a look at that in a second. Dell and then Macy's. All right, Dell. Dell and Macy's. We got Kohl's and CVS to take a look at also. We'll take a look at that one. Laura, I love Macy's. I do. I trade it almost every single week. If you take a look at my trades from last year, almost every single week I traded Macy's. All right. STLA. We haven't finished up with STLA. Okay, we haven't finished with that yet. We're just going through some of these questions here. ENB, Enbridge. Isn't Enbridge always a no? Because I'm pretty sure Enbridge doesn't have dividends. So it makes it a little challenging. Okay, Mary June wants to take a look at Kohl's and Campbell Soup. CPB. All right. Enbridge, ENB, ENB. IFN. L, what is IFN? IFNU. Well, if I offend you, then you shouldn't be here. That sounds terrible. Anyway, okay, so Stellantis. Let's look at the last 30 days and see if that makes sense. All right, well, the last 30 days, okay, the 15th of March was on a Saturday, so we really can't look at that. Okay, we'll look at the Monday. Okay, so 30 days ago, we opened up at 12.44. We went a little bit higher the very next day, and then we tanked to find Tuesday, last Tuesday, a week ago, to be the bottom. Okay, we're slowly going up, which is always a great thing, because you make most of your money buying low and selling high. Okay, I don't understand why people want to buy at the high or mid. Well, why not just buy it at the bottom? Because you have profit taking. When a stock goes up to a certain point, people say, all right, hey, I made money, let me take it. Because here's a few things that people have a tendency to ignore. Number one, it ain't a profit until you take it. It just doesn't make sense. It's not a profit until you take it, plain and simple. Jay Gatling, how are you doing today, Mr. J? Mr. J is in the house. I can see if we can get Facebook up and running. Okay, LinkedIn. I don't even know if LinkedIn's going to let me live broadcast on LinkedIn. Continue. All righty. All righty. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I don't know if I can do this right now. And wrong username. Well, that's going to be a tough one then. All right. Let's keep on going. Bill Lamb, how you doing? Mary Schaefer's, Tony Perez, Dr. Williams. Good evening, good evening. All right, so that being said, let's keep on moving along. So Stellantis, top, bottom, now she's going out 936. The 950s is going for 10 cents a share. Now 10 cents a share on a $9 stock, that's over 1%. Well, I'm looking for a simple, safe, predictable. Oh, yeah, no wonder why. I got the wrong password in there. All right, I'm going to have to deal with that one later then. All right, here we go. Let's do one quickly on Stellantis. This week, we want to do the 950s. Okay, covered call right there. The 950s right there. One contract. Now, if you can afford to do 5, 10, 15, 20, fine. More power to you. Okay, I'm just showing you one and see what it looks like. Because if it makes sense, it makes sense. Okay, here it is. Buy one covered call of Stellantis. STLA. I'm tripping over the damn wires. You figure I'm here every night, I wouldn't trip over the wires. Yeah, I got to get my broadcast room a little bit more organized. Okay, by one covered call, STLA, Stellantis, 100 is the weekly, 17 April 25. That's this Thursday, because there's no trading on Friday, but this Thursday. The 950 call option against the stock at the market to open, 2 trades, buying stock, selling the option. That way, it is one of the simplest, one of the safest trades that I know. Okay? So profit, 29 bucks. I know it's not a lot, but it's only costing $9.21. So let's take out the calculator to find out exactly what kind of rate of return that is for 2 days. Because we have 2 days left, Wednesday, Thursday, and that's it. Well, if the numbers don't work for this week, maybe it'll work better for next week. Uh-oh, someone had something. Okay, Uger Iton. Okay, you want to look at EPD? We'll look at that in a little bit. All right, it is on the list. We'll take EPD. EPD. All right, I'll take a look at it in a little bit. All right, John, how you doing? Nick. All right, so let's clear this out of here. $29 is the profit. Remember, the maximum profit. When I say I want a simple, safe, predictable, consistent trading strategy, well, simple, it's one of the easiest trading strategies there is. I'm buying a stock and then I'm selling it to someone else, all in one motion. I only got to do it once. So you buy the stock, sell the option, all at the same time. Well, that's pretty easy. You just figure out, where is the stock currently? Well, if the stock is currently at 936, well, the closest strike price is going to be the 950. So if I just buy the 950 covered call, okay, it buys the stock and it sells the option all at one time. And then I know exactly what I'm going to make, or pretty close to exactly what I'm going to make before I even do it. That's where the predictability comes in. I already know what I'm going to make before I do it. So it's simple. There's predictable, consistent. Well, this has weekly options. Now, on weekly options, I can do it every Monday. Every Monday, I buy my stock, I sell my options. Then I get my 1% every single week. Well, if it makes sense, it makes sense. Why not? All right, so let's keep progressing forward. So maximum profit, 29 bucks. What does it cost me? Cost of trade, including commissions and fees, 921. All right, so divided by 921 comes to a grand total of 3.14%. Now, 3% every single week comes to over 150% at the end of the year. Now, my goal is just 1%. This is offering me 3. So do I like it? Maybe. Let me write it down.